What's going on, everybody? It's Pelfrey, and this is the Red Sea Reefer 250, obviously. Couple things I want to talk about. Number one is was browsing around the internet here recently and saw that Kessel's coming out with a 360X for 10 years. So with Magna coming up, I'm very excited to hear about the new light and or any other new equipment that's coming out into the market. So I haven't changed any of the Kessel settings as far as intensity wise or anything like that. I did add a little bit of length to the on and off part of the T5s. But as far as all the other stuff, I've left it alone. I actually haven't even tested the water for quite some time just because I want to see what's going to happen. I did a 1 gallon water change only because I got some corals in the mail and I wanted to get some fresh salt water put into the tank so that I could use the old salt water to do the coral dipping process. So real quick, getting to some of the corals, I was on Reef to Reef and I stumbled across a forum sponsor called Cultivated Reef. They were having, I think, like a 20% sale. So I went ahead and I got, it might be kind of hard to see here, but I got this bird of paradise. So, you know, basically a bird's nest. I got the green slimer, which a long time ago I had a green slimer in this very location and it did all right. So once my tank started to bounce around, the green slimer did fail. Then I have, this didn't come in that package, but you know, this white acro. Then I picked up this, just a typical green bird nest, and you can see the bottom of it's bleached out. And then I got this acan right here, which doesn't look so hot. It's been stressed out ever since I got it, and I sent pictures of it to Cultivated Reef, so not a big deal there. I actually had to move. This is not, so let me, before I get too deep into it, I got the acan, I got this bird's nest, I got this bird's nest, and then the green slimer for them. And very happy with it, very satisfied with it. Great communication, without a doubt. I did remove them all off the frag plug just because the green slimer, the frag plug, had some type of algae on it, and I was not going to introduce that into my system. So I do have some frag plugs in my tank, but this one was just, I don't know what was on it, and I did not want to introduce it to my tank and create any other problems. But we can start down in this area right here. This frog spawn's doing all right. Acan's doing lovely. Mushroom here, and then the mushroom over here, always doing great. I'm pretty satisfied with this acro right here. It's got some good pulp extension and just overall good color. And this one right here does have some pulp extension and not so great color. But I did move the dendro. It was over in this area here, and I moved it here. So I've noticed this. Let's just get a close-up of the blenny real quick, and there's an acan there. But I noticed this whenever I took the algae scrubber offline. I'm having spots, maybe kind of hard to see, but I'm having spots of bubble algae pop up, which, excuse me, is not a big deal to me. And I've had bubble algae pop up from time to time, and basically I just go in, clean it out, pull it out, and I don't know whether or not I believe that if you pop the bubbles, then it just spreads. I mean, you know, if you throw a blue-legged hermit in a tank or any other animal that's going to eat the bubble algae, well, guess what's going to happen to it? They're going to pop it open. It's not like they're going to eat it and it's going to be clean. So anyway, there's just a little bit of bubble algae in the tank. Not a big concern of mine. There's no other algae anywhere. So overall, I'm pretty thrilled with that. Real quick, I've been getting a lot of questions about the RAIN2 algae turf scrubber that I pulled out of the tank. And a lot of folks are still confused as to why I pulled it out of the tank, wondering if it's not exactly what if it's not doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. And the algae scrubber worked great. I ran at one point all 4 GM5 lights in the algae scrubber, and the screen on it, I would have to clean it at least every week, if I drug it out a little bit, the water flow would get cut off significantly. But I had no issues with the screen growing algae by any means. The reason that I took it off of the tank is because I'm struggling to keep SPS corals alive. And for the longest time, my tank tested 0 nitrates and 0 phosphates. Only really thing that I can think about is an algae turf scrubber is going to pull out nitrates and phosphates. So the algae turf scrubber is going to compete for the same nutrients that the SPS corals need to thrive. So I pulled it out of the system, and again, based on some suggestions, I'm keeping the algae turf scrubber, and if things go south in the tank, I can always add the algae turf scrubber back to the tank, and I don't have to run it for, you know, a 14 or 16 hour period. I can run it for a 4-hour period. I already have it, I already own it. I can definitely run it on a shorter light schedule and maybe only 1 or 2 lights to combat any issues that I may have with the tank. So I almost forgot about this, talking about algae issues with the tank. Of course, I bought the 7 blue-green chromies. All 7 of them had perished. One of them was dead on arrival, and then within probably 36 hours, I was down to 1, and then, you know, shortly after that, I was down to none of them. So I was able to get most of them out of the tank. The couple blue-green chromies that I found in the tank, the snails and crabs have got to them and just consumed them. So I just left them in the tank at that point. So my nitrates and phosphates may be at a substantial level. I really need to get on testing that, but I've just kind of taken it easy with the tank and just staying hands off. Doing some simple things, making sure that the skimmer cup's clean, making sure that the auto top off's got water in it. And we can look down here real quick, nothing's changed. I did clean the skimmer cup, and I do try to clean it every other day or every 3rd day or so, just to keep it clean, just because if the neck gets all gummy, it, unlike, you know, like every other skimmer, it doesn't seem to pull as well. But nothing else fancy down here. Now I have been keeping the old corals that have died down here in the sump, just as a reminder whenever we open this up that that's a graveyard, and this little graveyard, it's unfortunate that it happened, but it's cost me a lot of money. So, you know, it is what it is when it comes to that. Keep a towel down here just to clean up some things. For some reason, one of the fish in the tank loves to splash water and get it on the front pane of the glass. So, you know, I'll probably never get a bigger tank. I'll probably never get a different tank. But if I did, I don't know if I would go a rimless tank again, just because the water splashing, and it's just kind of annoying having to clean it all the time. So I would probably try to get like a Euro brace tank. Like, for instance, the clowns stay back in this area, and what they do is they splash water over the rim of the tank, and I'm pulling salt creep off the top of the rim of the tank a couple times a week, and it's not a little bit. I mean, it's quite a bit of salt that comes off of the tank. So I love the look of the rimless tank, but whenever it comes to cleaning and maintaining it, especially whenever you're trying to clean the inside of it with a glass scraper, I'm always pushing water over the rim of the tank. So it is what it is. I mean, it's my tank, and this is the tank that I have now, and I do love it. So just something to think about if you're considering a rimless aquarium. I am thinking about ordering, or maybe making a trip to the local fish store. I know I talked about this, but I'm looking for like an orange or a yellow hammer. So if you order Euphilia online, where do you order Euphilia from? Please let me know. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here. If you're looking for another beautiful, not another one, because this barely has any coral in it whatsoever. So let's just say if you're looking for a Red Sea Reefer 250 that's beautiful, look up, I believe his name is Dimitri. I'll leave a link to his channel below. He's got a Reefer 250. He actually runs 3 Hydra 52s on his Reefer 250, but he's got a beautiful SPS dominated tank. Go check him out. I think he's the guy that created Aquatic Log. So yeah, you might as well go over and check it out at this point. I'm going to close this video out with about a minute worth of some coral close-ups. Be sure to check out the website at puffery.net. Be sure to follow me on Instagram for more updated content on a more regular basis. Catch you on the next one.